Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's bit in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober.
Hello everybody, welcome to Quick Bang. This is a show after Hibs have just got another 3 points, winning 2-1 against Livingston. Andy, you're first up tonight, mate. What was your take on the game?
Can you say game of two halves as per usual with Hibs just now, but they've switched it around and they were outstanding first half. That's exactly what I want to see from Hibs. And I've been quite vocal about the way I've seen Hibs this season, possibly down to the fact that we were watching on a computer most of the time. But that was much better and much more what I wanted to see. You had McGinn playing well, coming in, overlapping, Boyle coming inside, playing outstanding. He's playing a level above just now. You know, I don't necessarily mean a level above Hibs, but a level above where we've expected him to be. You know, and he's been outstanding. First half, especially, Gogic's distribution was good for me as well, which you don't normally get with Big Gogic, but he was really good. Second half, I don't know what was said at half time or what was in the oranges or whatever, but that was pretty poor stuff and it was hard to watch. But positives, they defended reasonably well under pressure. They invited pressure onto them, fair enough, from the front. But we've seen the game out. We've got a big 3 points. We've got to win our home games, and we should get this third spot sealed.
Fingers crossed. Did you think the second half was down to Hibs' performance dropping or Livingston up in their game?
I think it would be hard to have maintained that performance level for 90 minutes, but I was hoping for 70, 75 minutes. But to have dropped quite dramatically after half time suggests that there was something in it at half time, something said at half time to not take the foot off the gas, but just to defend your lead and do as much as you can, possibly conserving energy for what's quite a lot of games in a short space of time.
I could be on to something. Jamie, what about you? What was your take on it, mate?
I thought Hibs were outstanding in the first half, as I'm sure everybody else did. It was like we were going to get called up to the European Super League. We were that good. we went from Barcelona to Barcelona in the second half. So it was, to be honest with you, up until the penalty, I didn't think we would concede that. Although everybody was kind of jangling because you want to reach that third spot, we looked comfortable. And obviously McGuinness makes a bad touch, gives away the penalty, and then everybody's no nails left. But good performance, good to get the win. I was sitting on the edge of my seat before the final whistle went, I must admit. Obviously, Boyle's going to get all the plaudits, and quite rightly so, but I thought Jackson Irvine was absolutely brilliant. Although, is Chris Cabin been injured, or is he just quoted? I can't understand why didn't he come into the side to let Boyle play on the right?
He was due to start on Sunday. Jack Ross said his press conference that he was due to start on Sunday and picked up a rock just before the game, so they weren't sure if he'd be ready in time for this one. So
exciting that he's coming back, and obviously Murphy as well, so good players to come back. But a good performance. If Celtic can get the finger out and get that win tonight, it's done. Aberdeen are not going to win the remaining 3 games.
This last one. Do you think Jackson Irvine deserved his booking?
I thought it was quite soft, but it's one of them. They had been flying into quite a few tackles, and when he booked the guy for diving, James Forrest's brother, Pittman also dived. At first I thought it was a penalty, but it was a dive. But he'd already been booked, so technically should have been sent off. But it's just one of the games. I thought the referee was actually all right. But I'm honestly, I'm still jangling my nerves coming to the end of that game. I really am. My nerves are all over the place.
Tracy, well done, Hibs. What about you, Tracy? What did you think?
Yeah, I just think Hibs like to just keep us on our toes. But yeah, no, I can't agree with Andy and Jamie. You know, it's the first half they were just outstanding. I actually thought Jackson was going to get a goal. I thought he quite deserved it. He was really, he was going for it. Boyler's just on fire. Nisbet, you know, I felt, you know, when I started thinking about, you know, when we were talking about when I'm handing in his transfer request and that, when you think about it, he's been really professional and he's got back in his game and he's playing really well. But second half, that ball came and there was nobody there. And I thought, see, if Dodge was still in the park, there's a chance that ball's going in. I just don't know. I felt the substitutions were a bit strange.
What do you think was behind them? Do you think it was tactical, or do you think it was resting players?
Yeah, I think it was more the midfield. I think he felt we were getting a wee bit overrun in the midfield, and but then I think we kind of got left a bit short up front as well. So I just thought it was a bit strange. But like Jamie, I felt we were comfortable until that penalty. I didn't actually think Livingston were going to get a goal. And I thought, you know, we're quite comfortable at 2-0. That can be quite nervy, but I did think we were in full control of that game. And then the penalty, and then you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, what's going to happen now?"
Leon, what about you, Leon?
Aye, it's massive 3 points. This time of the season, obviously, and you've got to grind out results, especially when you're under pressure at the end of that game like we did. But I felt Livingston definitely improved in the second half. Like, as much as we obviously, our performance declined that wee bit, they definitely improved. They put a lot more pressure on us, and I feel that the legs started going a wee bit. They ran out of ideas, and then won the penalty. Okay, I never felt they were that dog like half chance in that, but I never felt that they looked like scoring. And they gave, like I said, they got the penalty, and that brought them back in it. Then it was panic stations, eh? But I thought Gogic was really good today on a positive note. I thought he's definitely been improving. His distribution's massively improved for when he first came. And we definitely need him in games like that, where the tackles are flying in and they're trying to hit us on the break and stuff.
That's a good point you make about Gogic improving. And see, this is one of the points that I think we've talked about the Longbangers before, about the impact East Mains and having the training centre, players coming to Hibs and getting better while they're at the club. And I think Gogic is a good example. Joe Newell's obviously improved since he's been at Hibs. You had like John McGinn's the obvious one where he came and turned into a totally different player. I think it's like a really big benefit. Jamie, I noticed you've got your hand up there. I'll come to you and then I'll get you next, Colin.
I just wanted to say what Leon was saying there about maybe running out with legs. It was actually a tactical switch. So that when in the second half, you seen Martindale pointing to get the ball over into our left back position and put Emmanuel Thomas on that. And let's face facts, Stevenson's never going to be able to compare with Groot and try and win headers, and it was
That's a good point,
for them.
Aye.
So when Emmanuel Thomas was winning the ball, he was putting it down, and Devlin's a very good crosser of the ball, and they were getting loads of opportunities for that. But it was a tactical switch. I've seen Martindale doing it on the TV.
Aye, he supposedly started off as a winger as well, like Thomas. When he was at, I think he was at Arsenal, Sam, but he actually supposedly started doing it as a winger, which I think is mental considering the size of him.
It's certainly a handful, isn't it?
Oh,
absolutely. He played well.
Huge. Aye, he was really good.
It's like the boy at Wolves, I can't remember his name. There's the total unit that plays
Aye,
wing as well.
up his arms.
He doesn't look like a winger, but he's good. Colin,
he's lightning and all that guy.
Aye. Colin, what did you think of the game?
Pretty much exactly what Andy said, but the first half they were brilliant. It was a proper game of two halves. It was like brilliant to no being brilliant. But I think, as Jamie said there, he made the sub at half time as well, changed it a bit, took Ambrose off, and presumably that was to try and, Forrest's a winger, isn't he? So he plays out there, so he's to drag Boyle back out of there because he got Boyle out of the game pretty much in the second half, compared to the first half anyway. Because Boyle was running them ragged in the first half, and I thought their tactics for the second half would be just kick them harder. But he actually just took the second half off, put a Boyle on and pulled them back into the defensive half, which isn't his game. So it definitely worked for them. So I'll give the boy credit. I didn't really think he was that type of coach. I thought he was maybe old school with the just with the voice and that, I guess.
Aye.
That he just sounds like he's going to be
And the
a
drunks and
break his legs
everything.
type of man. Get into them sort of thing. But no, they played well second half. They never created much. They got the penalty. I thought they were both penalties in the game, even though I had the radio on at half time and Mikey Stewart said that Boyle made the most of it, which is ridiculous.
Nonsense.
That's a penalty every time. That's a penalty. It was similar to their one, actually. I thought. And I always fancied the boy to score it. I watched him against Aberdeen on Saturday night, and I thought he would score it. He does that big long run up, which just waits on the goalie diving the wrong way. But the Marciona doesn't save penalties, so that was another reason for it. Like he's only ever saved one, I think, with memory. So
aye, against the Hearts. And
I can remember it now.
Did the boy not score the second rebound for that one, Colin?
I was sitting behind. I was just having a wee debate earlier.
Leon, you get your hand up, and then I'll come at you. Ray.
It was just a quick point as well about Martin Boyle. Like, I mean, I feel that he's just as important to keep a Huddy at the end of the season as a Nisbet or obviously Pochers is a different end of the park, but I think what he brings to your team is unbelievable for the player he is. And if we can keep a Huddy him to maybe not the end of his career, but the next couple of seasons again, for the fact he signed his deal, it's massive for us. I think he's got something like, is it 8 assists and 15? No, 15 goals, is it?
Kerry Miller tweeted about it, and it was something like that. It was
something mental.
Good stat, yeah.
And you really think about it.
He was unplayable in the first half. Yeah, it was like we were saying, the first half, we played Stranraer and Queen of the South, and we've been saying, we were playing lower league teams, that's how we should be playing. We made Livingston look like a lower league team in the first half. It was just like those games again. And Boyle was outstanding in the first half. He was just untouchable. Maybe if you
he's been like that for weeks as well.
Aye. Ray, I'm living the Fiorentina strip tonight. What did you think of the game?
It's just exactly what everyone else has said. Essentially, it's the game of two halves. I mean, we were absolutely brilliant in the first half. I mean, really, particularly Boyle was superb. His touch to go into little turns to give himself a wee yard was brilliant. Nisbet's movement off the ball was superb. Everything through the centre, through the midfield was wonderful. I thought the combination with Jackson Irvine and Newell and Gogic were playing so well. And then along came the second half, and it was brutal. But it gives me something to moan at. So from that point of view, I'm delighted because it wouldn't be the same if we didn't have a right good moan, would it?
No, I predicted 2-1 Raven, so I'm delighted because I never put any money on it, but I did say on Sunday 2-1. Whenever the last one, that's 2-1.
I think I had that Hibs picks. I had them doing for 3-1. So
you're wrong then.
No, I was wrong.
Nisbet probably had a couple of chances, Ray, to wrap up at the end.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't believe that he actually missed that second one. I don't know how the hell he managed to. He came off the outside of his right foot, and I don't understand why he's not trying to get on the inside and put it around the keeper that way. But it's a strange one that. Strangely enough, I felt that the last, including injury time at the end, the last 6-7 minutes we were brilliant. With the game management was absolutely superb.
Outstanding, yeah.
Because instead of sitting back, as we had been doing, we pressed them up the park, and we never gave them the chance to build, to get the ball into the centre and push the ball wide to get those crosses in the box that had been giving us so much bother. And you kind of go, well, why were we not doing that earlier? But look, end of the day, it's pardon the cliche, it's we're getting closer. We're getting closer to that third spot. We're getting closer to that European spot. We could do with Celtic doing us a favour tonight. I don't know if Scott Brown's playing or not, but I can't imagine he'll be. I don't think he'll be trying too hard, will he?
Who knows?
He's not tried hard all season.
Well, let's. I was speaking to people earlier and talking about the potentially getting a third spot, and says, look, it's the best chance we're ever going to get. If they don't believe me now, will they ever believe me?
Aye.
How can you hear me say those words and not believe me?
Exactly. Jimmy, what was your take on it?
Well, guess what? I'd say that was for the first time I've been on the show, 45 minutes. We need 90 minutes. They drive you bananas. Nothing's easy, is it? But I'll tell you what, Boyle, you're right, Raymond and Tracy and I were saying there. Unplayable first half. I'll tell you what, for me, man of the match was Gogic. The lad, he run and just did not give up. He was fantastic. And he broke up a team, a big team, hard team, broke up everything. He was fantastic. But, hey, 3 points. I says it for the first time I came on the show as well. We'll be third.
And you standing by it?
Absolutely, 100%.
It was Gogic. It was Gogic that got that. I must have won about 3 or 4 headers on the trot in the very dying minutes of that game, and it was that level of sort of perseverance and performance, just to be so determined to not allow them to get up the park.
Yes,
Makes a massive difference. And Boyle was, and by the way, Boyle was doing the same towards the end of the second half. He was coming back. He's picking up balls just inside the Hibs half when they were pressing up. He was putting pressure on their centre halves, preventing them from getting that quick ball again. So, hey, as bad as the second half was from a Hibs point of view, from an attacking point of view, we did well defensively, barring McGuinness's his first touch of the game.
I was very surprised about the substitutions. I thought taking Newell off. I didn't. People have spoke about Irvine having a good. I didn't think Irvine was great. I thought I would have taken him off before I took Newell off. And Big Doys just does what he does. And to take him off and put, well, Dre, right, good God.
Extra man in midfield.
That one I think was definitely tactical. I think we needed it at that point.
Without a doubt.
Do you think so?
Yeah. It was to shore up. It was to give us 5 men in the middle. It was to prevent them getting so much space and getting the ball, and to be able to move the ball wide quickly. That was I suspect what was intended.
And right on, right when it came on, to be fair.
We came out the traps, exactly what we wanted. They got the two in hand, and then, hey, 3 points. When's the next game? Is it next Wednesday, or is it the Saturday?
Scottish Cup next.
Cup at the
Scottish
weekend.
Cup then, is it the Wednesday? Or
Saturday, I think. It's the Saturday, the 1st of May.
So anyway, lads.
Job done, eh?
Hopefully we'll get away.
Darren, you're up next. Just before you give us your thoughts on the game, you've got a nice wee hoodie on there. Is this part of your merchandise? You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so basically on Friday, I'm launching my brand new merchandise. So DPT, obviously, Darren Phil Thompson. So on the hoodies, as you can see, that one down the arm is Live Your Best Life. My green hoodie that I've got, well, in the wash, that's got Dream Big, and I've got Dream Big and Live Your Best Life.
Nice one. And am I right in saying, Darren, I saw something on Twitter that you've got a wee audition in for The Voice?
Yeah, so one of my pals dared me to apply. So I applied. I know I'm not the best singer, but I think if I'm able to get some practice, I know someone or wanting me to join a choir in the Borders. So if I can join, get a wee bit of practice, why not?
Best of luck with it. So
go for it, Darren.
You got to sing a Hibs song, Darren?
You get Sunshine on Leith?
Well, I might just sing Lewis Capaldi.
Very good.
That's all right.
So what were your thoughts on the game, mate?
Well, first half, we were pretty much unplayable. It could have easily been 3-0. We could have easily been 3-0 up. Boyle was unplayable, as the rest of you guys have said. And I just think, yeah, second half, we never came out the traps like we did in the first. But at the end of the day, a win's a win for us.
Yes.
Did you think it was a penalty? Would you agree with Mikey Stewart or agree with the guys on the panel that Boyle made the most of it, or do you think it was a stick-on penalty?
That's a penalty. As soon as the player makes contact with another player, it's a penalty. Because I used to, for the disability team, I used to be a winger. So I've been clipped numerous times in the box.
Yep.
The one time that I did get clipped in the box was the last time I ever played, and the stupid referee gave a free kick. So I actually asked him where his specs was that day.
Brilliant.
Very good. Kaiser,
Last time I got clipped in the box, I was playing cricket. I never moved for a week.
What about the walking fit day?
The last time I got clipped, it was for not doing the dishes.
Kaiser, what was your take on it?
It was good. Like every game now feels like a bit of a cup final for us.
Yep.
It's scary, and I think you can see the kind of a progress with Hibs, because I think last season that would have been 2-2 or that would have been 3-2, and the quality was there in the first half. It was amazing. Just the second half, they just came at us. They must have dished out an extra portion of pasta or something and got them fired up. And then they just went for it. They did start to control the midfield a wee bit, and it was a wee bit squeaky bum time. But as I say, the differences for last season is we made tactical changes. The subs with McGuinness and Wright, I don't like. As I know, we had to put a player in midfield, but I would have put McGuinness on before I put Wright on. But that's just me. And then obviously the hold-up play at the end of the game was brilliant, and it was good. And we've just got to keep doing this every game, thrashing out the results. Even if we play like we did in the second half for the full 90 minutes, see, as long as we walk away with the 3 points, who's caring?
And do you think we're still going for third now?
I don't know. I still don't. I'm sitting watching Aberdeen in front of Celtic now, and I don't know. I hope so much, but as I keep saying, as a Hibs supporter, you can't guarantee anything as a high week, can you? So I think St Johnston's important, but if it comes down to the Aberdeen game, then that's going to be just as important as well. But it just depends how we go. If we lose at St Johnston and they pick up points, and it's all going to be about the Aberdeen game, and that's good. And it's how Celtic are playing now. I'm even more worried about the Aberdeen game.
Aye, mind you, I suppose we might beat Celtic.
Aye,
true.
They're playing like that. We've got a decent chance. David, welcome to the show. What was your take on the game?
Well, I felt the first half showed that there's something happening at Hibs, and I don't know what it is. Second half, we just took our foot off, right? That might be because we're playing Saturday, Wednesday, or this case it was Sunday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
But it just feels like there's something different happening at Hibs. It feels like how it did under Mowbray, for example, when we had that season where we went to third. And it just feels like that again with the way the players are playing. It's like a freedom of play. It feels like the way Radham was at his peak is how Boyle's playing right now. And how Nisbet's getting the goals is how O'Connor was getting the goals. I mean, Nisbet was unlucky right at the end not to get that goal. I don't know. Why didn't he just chip the keeper? I know someone said about hitting it inside, but the keeper was going down, easy chip. But I just feel like there's something special getting built at Hibs now amongst the players. And even when the subs come on, the subs look like they're eager to go. It's not like they're coming on just like, all right, I'm going to make my appearance fee today. It's like, no, I want to be a part of this. So I just feel like there's something special happening. I just think the game highlighted that as well in the first half.
Aye. It's a really good point. John and I have talked about it on Longbangers a few times about the Hibs hitting levels, and I think that now we're hitting a standard of performance just at the right time. You know, the business end of the season, to use a cliche. Hibs are coming at that kind of form, and we're playing. I don't know if it's going with the front three and them all hitting form about the same time, whether that's playing into it or what do you think, David?
I just think that the players know each other now because we've had, what's that been? Nisbet's been here, 9 months now. So he's had 9 months to know Dodge as his partner. He's had 9 months to get to know Boyle on the wing. He's had 9 months to get to know Gogic laying in the balls. Then you've got players that come in as well, like Jackson Irvine. Like, I didn't rate him. I watched him the night, I thought, he's got something about him tonight. So I think it's just everything's connected at the right time for Hibs. And had this been back in December when we hit our lull form as always, we could have been pushing Celtic for second.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we hit the lull at the wrong point. It's all every season. And it's the same old story with Hibs and it's with Aberdeen and everyone. You hit your lull at the wrong point of the season, you can't keep up with old form. But if we were to keep this form going from today into the end of next season, there's something going to happen. Because we won the far off Rangers a couple of weeks ago. Could we take Celtic right now? Possibly. They're in the doldrums. So, you know, I think something big's going to happen. I think we're the team to do it.
And the other question that got raised about Jack Ross early on was about his record in big games. So given the position we're in and needing to get third place tonight, probably I think goes down as a big game that he's won, and at home as well to be game that one.
Yeah,
I think they're all big games this time of year when you're in that position. So definitely.
Yeah, every one of them are big games at the moment. It's as somebody said earlier, it's like a series of cup finals. And I'll probably not be liked for saying this, but I think we're quite fortunate we've not got supporters in the ground sometimes because tonight would be one of those occasions where they would have been turning and going, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Hibs, what are you doing?" And it might have just made the difference.
That's a fact, Raymond.
Do you think when we're back in the stadium that folk will miss chucking the remote control across the room?
Oh, but Amazon will miss the money for a new bunch.
But see, somebody said though, Raymond, the way they dealt with it when they lost the goal the day, they never looked like scoring again. No. And it wasn't like we were under pressure for free kicks and corners and we'd all start shiting ourselves. Yeah, they actually just put them up the park and Jackson Irvine stood in that corner for the last 5-10 minutes. Like
but they couldn't hear me going, "Oh, for fuck's sake, fucking hell."
So, right,
does anybody think we'll ever score for that love train corner? Just looks like we do that thing. And everybody's surprised when the ball comes in.
Listen, how many goals could we score if we could score for set pieces?
Tons.
Right.
No.
That's for years, by the way. Years.
Because how many set pieces did we get in that first half? How many opportunities to put a ball in somebody's head? It was an incredible amount.
Well, what I noticed as well, Livingston weren't wanting to give us a free kick in the final third, where Nisbet's dangerous. If you notice where their yellow cards came, most of the yellow cards were in the centre half of the pitch.
They were,
So they were making all the dodgy
Manchester
tackles
City
up
free
there.
kicks.
So I think Nisbet could be the one for us with free kicks if we can keep a hold of him in the summer, depending if he goes to Euros and what he does.
Aye.
And Griffiths will be on free kicks if he comes.
I think Ron Gordon's got to show his hand when it gets to the end of this season, what his intentions are for Hibs with the players that we've got, because if you go right across that, it's like Hibs before, anytime we've demonstrated a bit of quality, we get pillaged. So I think that's got to be a big show for him, who we keep a hold of and who we let go and definitely who we bring in.
The one thing I think with that is we'll definitely lose players, but I think he's shown this season that he'll put his hand in his pocket to go and get other ones in. So I think we could be in for quite an exciting summer.
We didn't need to balance the books or that either. We're sitting quite pretty as it is financially. So money that comes in should be put right back into the team. And John McGinn scored again tonight. So if he ever gets on the move this summer, we might be in for big bucks. So
it would be lovely to see Jamie Gullen coming across and starting to play, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Jamie. He's done really well at Wraith as well.
He's definitely got something about him, definitely.
Maybe he's a championship player. Hey, come on.
But that's where Kevin Nisbet came to, though.
Yes, understandable, but Kevin came a wee bit, had 3 or 4 teams he was at before he hit his peak. And I think Darren Jackson was talking about that. He understands when a club lets him go. And he goes and tries and proves himself. He doesn't want to be bad to his team or let him go, but for himself. And Gullen could be that player that it'll take him a few clubs to come. But hey, it's positive. And Matt, I just want. I hope you don't mind me butting in. I was listening to Liam Fontaine, and David was talking about the something special is going to happen. Something special has been happening for the last 5 years.
Yes.
And
Liam Fontaine hit it on the head when, he was talking about the family club and the supporters. Bring the supporters back. Get the supporters on our side and we'll progress. And David's right. The progression is now. We've got somebody there, Ron Gordon, who's put his hand in his pocket. He's kept the Nisbets and he's kept the Porches. And hey, David, you're right. Maybe next year. We could be.
I mean, how many years do we spend going, we'll win the Scottish Cup next year? There's always next year for the Scottish Cup. But now we've got an owner, as you said, he's put his hand in his pocket, right? Last year, what was it? Ron the Fraud. Every Hearts fan. Ron's did nothing for Hibs. Hibs are going to go bust. What's
Yep.
happened? You have the contingency plan, which has got us more money in the long run to keep us going. Now, we're on the verge of hitting the European group stage, which, if the finances are right, it's worth not far under £10 million. So that's like with TV revenue and all that as well.
Yeah.
So what could we possibly do with that? Because that, if we get £10 million, we no longer have to be the selling club in Scotland. We don't have to lose the players that we used to lose. We can now keep what we've got. We can keep our assets.
I don't think we're a
we'll
selling
win the
club, are
Scottish
we?
Cup.
We're not a selling club now.
Everybody's a selling club.
No,
Ah,
every club in
everybody's got a
Scotland is a
price.
selling club.
Every club in the world's a selling club.
We
Yes,
have we have to sell the club as a window for players to come in who are looking
Yeah.
to develop.
Without a
And
doubt.
say, this is a step up. That if you want to go to the higher level, you have to come through us, and we're the window to do it, and which is fine.
Without a
Which is
doubt.
absolutely fine.
And the
But
main
the thing
example of
is,
that
if
is John McGinn.
If Rod Petrie was here when Nisbet and they would have been away.
Aye.
They would have been
Aye,
away.
He would
Oh,
have dropped
John
them off.
Undoubtedly.
Right, and Andy, you've got your hand up. I'll give you the final point, and then we'll wrap up for the night.
I think the main point in all this is we're not going to get bullied anymore in the transfer market.
Yes.
We're going to have assets and we're going to use them to our benefit, not to everybody else's benefit. And we're going to make money with or without the Europa League group stages or whatever. But we're not getting bullied anymore. We're getting well looked after and we're moving forward.
Perfect. Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so I was going to wrap up there, Dan. I saw you with your hand up, so you can have the final word.
I think now I've got two questions, but I think this year we're going to win the Scottish Cup,
Yay.
and also I just want to give, if I'm allowed to give, Kenny Miller from ex-Hibs media person a massive shout out, because if it wasn't for him giving me the platform, I don't think I would be in the position that I am today with my YouTube.
All right, excellent.
Right.
well said.
Well done,
Well
Kenny.
said, man.
Okay, folks, thanks for listening. We'll be back with Short Bangers tomorrow, which is Thursday, so we'll get your Raj questions coming in. We'll try and keep it below 2 hours this week. And then we'll have Short Bangers at the weekend. Quick Bang after the Cup game as well. So you're all welcome back for that as well. Right, take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
County line, I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.